Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. And Hurricane Hannah is still here. We just don't get any respite lately from the wind. Okay guys, couple of things. What my videos are going to be from now on, because I've now absolutely doubled down on where I am with my channel lock protocol. Where I am is where I am and where I'm going to be. And it evolves around the basic principles with the addition of the 3-lever process adaptation. All I'm doing is trying to get more backswing length of golf swing, so I'm applying and adapting the 3-lever process, which means is essentially bending the lead arm and, where possible, as a thought, increasing the bend in the trail arm, which is basically our bicep curl with a turn. I don't just want to bend that lead arm, I want to bend both arms. I'll still get a bit of extension away from the body on the backswing with the trail arm, because that's what happens just in the golf swing. It's very rare that you'll get someone that stays here in the backswing. But the general basis of the videos going forward are just tweaking the additions that you can make to channel lock for personal adaptation and getting your own channel lock swing to work better for you. Now there's a lot of options that I've offered, like lots and lots of options. Now they're there, guys, for one reason, and that is to give you options to apply to your channel lock, because a lot of the stuff that I think about, that Bill Phillips thinks about, that Mr. X thinks about, that Matt Gray and all the other guys think about, may not suit you. We have different thought processes and certain mechanical applications that are relative to us individually. So everything I'm doing from now on is just going over the tweaking of the general protocol, but giving you an opportunity to add some options to your golf swing. Now guys, for me, there's no question that I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to load into that trail leg here, get some real secondary tilt in the golf swing. When I hit it here, I want to get there. Now the more secondary tilt I can get, and the more 5 o'clock nose I can get, the more I can stay in the channel. That's the reality of it. If you watch this, if I get here and I've got secondary tilt, secondary tilt is just the tilting of the spine back this way, guys, which is endemic in every great golf swing. The Rory McIlroys, the Henrik Stensons and Garcias, I mean, they're all, the Greg Normans, they're all here. So I get that feeling, guys, because I try and get my nose outside my right foot profoundly. Now if you do that, that will actually tilt your body automatically. It'll just do that. I mean, it can't do anything else if you've got that orientation of feel and placement of mass. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more secondary tilt. I'm trying to get a lot more 5 o'clock nose on the golf swing, and I'm trying to get a lot more bend in these elbows on the backswing. Now to help you with the 5 o'clock nose, what I found gives me a really good way of doing that is just a different emphasis on a part of the body that gives the same result and keeps the head back and the 5 o'clock nose. And that's what I call the 5 o'clock sternum. If you had a pointer out here, straight out of the middle of your sternum, and you pointed that pointer over here, and you felt like you wanted to keep that pointer of the sternum pointing over here on the downswing, and that the arms are going to swing away from that pointer. The pointer's over there because the sternum's pointing there, but we're going to swing our arms away from that. We're not, or on the same line as that sternum orientation. We're not going to try and turn our sternum through with the arms. The sternum is pointing there. It's a 5 o'clock sternum. Now what I find, guys, is by concentrating on having the thought of the sternum as a thought, I just get more emphasis on the 5 o'clock nose, and I just get more ability to keep the shoulders closed and for the club to stay in the channel more by thinking about that. Now the other thing is, guys, in the secondary tilt here, we want the weight going down that trail vertical axis. And if we can get it going down that trail vertical axis and feeling like when it's doing that as it goes down there, that this is actually going that way. It's actually that's the feel. The buttock is moving this way, and that trail leg and hip is moving that way. And you're firing the arms away from those resisting trail side componentry, that vertical axis trail side componentry. That's what you're firing your arms away from, is the resistance of that and the stabilizing of that. The stabilizing effect, guys, is that as if we can get that going there, as we fire down, that lower body is stabilizing the effect and the pressure and the power that's being exerted out there with the arms. Now there's a huge force out there of the upper arms and upper body firing the club out there. Now it has a tendency to want to pull you out there, pull that upper mass of the body out there. So what you've got to do is counterbalance and support that. Don't blow the camera over, it's so windy, guys. So we have to support the upper mass with the lower mass. And by doing that, it's basically that as a feel. So just hit a few shots where you just take the club back and you go. You just stay back here and fire the club away there with a couple of little short shots. The wind is unbelievable. Yeah, just do that as a feeling, guys, to get the feeling of the stabilizing. So important. So they're key features that I'm applying and employing in my channel lock now. I think my channel lock is turnkey for me now. What I do in my channel lock is the basic premise of channel lock, where we come in with the trail foot, put the trail foot down, we put the club down, we bring the lead foot up for balance. Now whether your balance factor is better there in an open stance is up to you. I like it there because as soon as I put my lead foot up there, it cocks my weight back into that trail axis. If I have my lead foot back in an open stance, it tends to just load my weight a little too far forward. Now you may get away with that and it may suit you. It doesn't suit me. So I don't play with an open stance now. So we play that back foot. Now we've already got all our alignment worked out, which is in the early channel lock videos, and I don't want to go there because I haven't got enough time on this video. But at the end of the day, guys, we've got to have our shoulders closed to the target line when we hit it, and a mount. So the ball will always start a little, for a right hander, a little right of the target line. That's the whole idea of channel lock. The ball's back here, we fire the club in beside the body, not in front of the body. So the club is always moving in to out, across the target line, obliquely, and the ball will always start a little right of the target line. And how far it continues to go right is relative to how much your club face orientation is applied in the ball, whether it's open or closed through the golf ball. But that's all in general channel lock. So the general channel lock principle, guys, or premises is there. Back foot ball position. Lead foot comes up for balance. We go into our pre-cock, our balance here. We've got our 5 o'clock nose. I've just got the arms bending up here. I've then got the downswing, which is a little bit, which is a drop action back here, which is reverse winding on the downswing. How do we get that backdrop? When we get to here, we just reverse wind it, guys. You just reverse wind the club. That gets it. You don't have to do that, but the main thing is that you've got to drop it back here so you can get in the channel, and then you can keep firing it out. And now when we fire it out, the arms and the shaft and the hands all go away from the target. But remember, they're going away from the target out there, obliquely across the target line, but the club face is going towards the target. So the hands and arms are going out there, but the club face is releasing towards the target. There, it's got to release towards the target, otherwise the ball won't go towards the target. So you must remember that, guys. You just don't want to have the arms releasing into out there, like this, here. We don't want to just be releasing the arms into out there, the club face there, that's shoving it. The ball will just go straight right. The hands and arms go in there and the shoulders are closed, but the club face releases towards the target, here. And if I bring that back around, guys, that's just oriented, that's address position. Squared or little closed. It's not a rollover. You can think of it as a rollover. Doesn't matter. You won't roll it over too much, I promise you. And for people who don't release the club very much, maybe you need to do that anyway. It's so windy, guys, so windy. So, yeah. So my turnkey is basically that, and I'm not going to change that anymore. That is essentially, if you've got those principles or tenets in your channel lock application, then that's all you need. You can have a variation of that, but you don't need any more than that, because that's the base principles and geometry and mechanics of channel lock. Now, the only thing I've added to that since I've grooved my channel lock application is the 3-lever system, and that's all I'm doing now. I don't need to do anything else. Nothing else in the golf swing matters anymore. Now guys, first swing of the day, and that's just killed. I've got 150,000 mile an hour solar wind across here. I can't believe it. I mean, that's just held us line. 5-iron, first shot of the day, and just blitz city. So guys, what does that tell you? That tells you that my channel lock protocol is a turnkey. I've just turned the key and I've got the result. In turning the key, I've just applied, I've opened the door, but I've opened the door and I put the key in the lock and I've turned it the same every time. And that's the whole idea of channel lock, is that you want to have exactly the same process going on every time you line up and every time you hit the ball. And your shoulders are closed, the club's moving in to out, and you get that type of result. So for me, it's here, guys, and here. Lead shoulders back, just bend the lead arm, and it's fantastic. Even out of 3-inch deep crabgrass, guys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't get any better than that. That's just such a good hit. Wow, there's a tree over there with the cows, and that's just landed. Those 3 shots have just landed at the base of that tree. It hasn't moved at all in terms of ball flight. And dead cold golf swing, guys. I want that secondary tilt. Wow! That's what I love about this swing, guys, and I told you guys initially that this would be an infallible process. If you applied this process, if you really did apply the channel lock process, you would get this type of result. You would hit the same shots every time you went to the practice fairway and every time you lined up over a shot. Because it's a known system. We're applying a known mechanical process. And if you do the same every time, guys, you've got to get the same result. And it's very easy to apply this because it's definite. There's no variation or options in this golf swing. We don't give you a forward ball position with a variation. We don't give you a variation of having the shoulders open or closed. We don't give you any of that. It's closed shoulders. It's ball back here. There's no options. It's here. It's stay there. Fire the club. 5 o'clock nose. All this stuff is non-optional. That's what it's about. And now that I've got the 3-lever, and all I've got to do, guys, is apply a little bit of secondary tilt now. That's all I've got to do. That's it in a nutshell. There's no more, no less than that. Now you can see there's a lot of zip at the bottom there for an old dude. There's a lot of zip on the doodah there. And the more secondary tilt I can get, the harder I'll hit the ball. I'll really work on the secondary tilt. This is fantastic hitting out of crabgrass. That's 3 inches deep. Secondary tilt. Now guys, look at that secondary tilt. Wow. It's never coming down. That's gone over that tree. The other ones were landing at the base. That's gone over it. So that's where it is, guys. This is what I call my turnkey channel lock. It won't change from here on in. I see with the investigation, the development I've done, and the evolution of this process, I see absolutely no reason now to change anything, because I'm achieving a contact result of extraordinary proportions. So I don't need to change anything. And the only other thing, guys, try and keep your legs bent. Just try and keep them bent. If you can keep them bent through the ball, you're doing well. The wind's just ripping, the ball's not moving. That's the best 5-iron I've hit since I've been on Channel Lock. I said that a week ago, but that is the best one. Okay guys, it's so windy and I'm worried about the camera blowing over. I'll see what the conditions are like, where the sun is, and I might hit some shots down range here and give you a look. But generally speaking, guys, this is my turnkey Channel Lock. Where I am is where I am. I don't need to change anymore. I'll make it a little bit more formal during the week when the weather's not so bad and the audio is not being affected, and I'll go through it in piecemeal fashion and tell you exactly what my finished turnkey protocol is. But it's there, guys. I'm not going to change anymore. I don't need to. So everything I give you guys from now on is just reinforcing and tweaking of the protocols and giving you a little bit more license for applying some options. That's all it is. Okay guys, I'll see what the weather's like and what it looks like. We might hit a couple down range if the sun's okay.